Hello, brothers and sisters, and people studying with Jehovah's Witnesses. The governing body has acted strange lately, claiming that our music is not our music, but the music and the literature that exclusively belongs to the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society. Oh, it's not our music anymore. Though they dedicated everything that they do to Jehovah, it's not Jehovah's property. It's the property of the sole owners, the Watchtower Bible Tract Society. Now, I'm not trying to make you go against them. They're coming against us. See, this ain't me saying this. This is not me, David Schillen, saying this to you. This is them saying it to you. They wrote a letter to you telling you that it's their property. And our music is not our music. Okay, so that's a change. That's a change, a serious change in attitude by the governing body and the Watchtower Bible Tract Society. They've never taken on that kind of actively coming against their own people, Jehovah's Witnesses. They're acting against Jehovah's Witnesses and the interests of the organization and in the interest of Jehovah's name being known all over the earth. So on social media, we can't play songs like Jehovah, we have no other God but you. We can't put that on social media. So they're going against Jehovah's will. For sure. 100% positive here. Red flags have drawn up that they're going against the will of Jehovah. Do you believe that? Let me tell you something that will help you believe that there's been a compromise amongst the governing body members. Maybe they voted Anthony Morris and other people out, another person out, so that they can gain more power over you and me. I'm thinking that way. Anyway, years back, I don't know, is anybody old enough to remember when the governing body sent a talk out to all of the congregations saying if Satan got a foothold on the governing body, he got into the governing body and control over it, what would he do? Would he just outright ban the use of Jehovah? Jehovah is not God's name. No, he wouldn't do that. Would he stop the preaching work? No, he wouldn't do that. What the governing body said back then makes sense. Satan would slow boil us. Like putting a frog in warm water. And the frog won't jump out of it. But slowly increase the heat and he'll become numb and remain in the pot and get cooked. See, that's what Satan's doing. He's slowly cooking us. He's subtly sending these things out. Like the preventing us from handing out our literature on social media. That's an entire territory. Satan has eliminated totally that territory where all the people are. That's where the most people are. And Satan has used the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, us, to stop us from preaching on social media. That's what Jehovah's Witnesses back then said Satan would do. He would slowly attack certain territories. He would attack Jehovah's name. He would attack our prayers. He would attack our studying habits. He would attack our service hours, lower our service hours, lower the expectation of our pioneers out there. So our pioneers are not out there the full amount of hours making Jehovah's name known, making the kingdom known. But Satan has seriously lowered the amount of hours pioneers have to do. He's slow cooking you pioneers, brothers. and sisters. He's slow cooking us. He's saying we don't have to do this many service. We can slow down. We can lower the amount of service, and it's all acceptable to Jehovah God. Now, the organization back then, the governing body back then, warned us that the governing body of today might be doing that. Jesus warned us too. Jesus said in the 25th chapter, woe to that slave class if they start beating on the slaves, beating on the domestics. That's what they're doing. They're beating us. They're taking away everything we do for Jehovah. They said they would attack Jehovah's name, and they did attack Jehovah's name, and they did two things at once in one talk. In one talk that the organization sent out to us was to stop us from using Jehovah's name as much in our prayers. They've given that talk. That talk has been worldwide by the governing body, sponsored by them. They probably wrote the talk, right? They want us to stop using Jehovah's name in our prayers. And at the same time, that prayer, that talk created doubt in our hearts. Doubt that Jehovah hears our prayers because we're using Jehovah's name. Oh, we got to stop using Jehovah's name in our prayer because Jehovah's not going to hear us. So they killed us. They're killing us by throwing one stone at two birds at the same time. One talk, they killed our use of Jehovah's name. They slowed us down, put suspicion in our hearts, suspicion that we're using Jehovah's name wrong, and we can't use Jehovah's name because we're going to use it wrong, and He's not going to have favor. He's not going to hear our prayers. See, they killed Jehovah's name, the use, our trust in the name Jehovah. They tried to kill that. And the governing body also attacked our prayers with the same Bible talk. Then they attacked social media preaching. They took that territory away from all Jehovah's Witnesses. That's a territory, you know. That's our preaching territory they took away from us. They don't have authority to do that. They don't have authority to take away our territories from us. Remember, the old governing body used to tell us to search out new methods to reach people, to reach them in your home through social media, they used to say, and through internet and through emails and everything. They told us to search out ways to contact people. Now they're telling us to get off of social media. Why are they saying the opposite thing now? So several flags, that's 3 flags flying in us. Now they tell the pioneers that they don't have to do this much service, that they can relax, slow down. You could serve Jehovah this much and be a pioneer. You don't have to serve him this much, this many hours. You could seriously lower your amount of hours and serve Jehovah just as acceptable. Jehovah will accept your hours down here the same as up here. They're saying that stuff. They're putting seeds of doubt in us. They're slowing down our service and taking away territory that we used to reach people with. We decide if we can preach on social media, not them. They do not have the authority to stop the good news of the kingdom from being preached on social media. They do not have that authority to go against Jehovah's will. This is Jehovah's will. And they're making Jehovah's will their will, like if it belongs to them. Like if they have authority to prevent us from doing Jehovah's will. They do not have that authority, brothers and sisters. They do not have that authority to tell us that we should stop using Jehovah's name in our prayers. See, they're going against Jehovah's will lately. Many flags. That's 4 flags. Can you think of some more things that they've done? I bet they've done a lot of things that I haven't noticed. But some of you have noticed. Has any of you had red flags going up lately about the recent governing body? They got rid of Anthony Moore. That raises a flag. Why did they do that? They won't even tell us why they got rid of him. I think they got rid of him because he was a vote. He was a vote. He was voting for Jehovah. And they wanted people to vote against Jehovah's will in the governing body. This is a coup, a form of a coup here. This is a takeover of the organization by Satan. Satan is gaining a foothold situation in our organization. And we brothers, we must address this at once. We need the brothers to rise up and spy on them and see what they're saying behind our backs here. They need to be watched at all times. The governing body shamefully needs to be removed from the powerful position that they've enlisted themselves in. We need to remove them and re-elect a new governing body that will serve Jehovah and do Jehovah's will and increase the pioneer work, not decrease it. And use Jehovah's name more, not decrease in the use of Jehovah's name. And they need to build up the new organization, the new governing body that re-elect should increase our confidence that Jehovah hears our prayers, not decrease it, as this governing body has done. This governing body has decreased our faith that Jehovah hears our prayers. They're placing doubt in our minds. Trust me, that's what they're doing. They're doing exactly what the governing body in the past warned us about in a talk written by the governing body that was sent throughout all the congregations. I heard that talk. And they're doing exactly what the previous governing body members warned us that they would do if Satan got a foothold situation going on. Have they been compromised? I think they've been compromised. Anybody else have any evidence that they've been compromised? We need to gather ourselves together and take back what belongs to Jehovah God. It doesn't belong to them. If they're going against Jehovah's will, their position as governing body members does not apply anymore. They don't have the power over you and I anymore if they're going against Jehovah's Witnesses and Jehovah's will for Jehovah's Witnesses. If they're trying to slow down the preaching work, if they're trying to put doubt that Jehovah is God's name, then they have been compromised and they must be removed immediately. Please, brothers, wake up. Wake up. Wake up, brothers and sisters. Something needs to be done now.